at this. All right, cool. We ready?
Yeah, we can do this. We can do
The
this.
mics are hot. Let's do it live.
The mics are
Fuck it.
Fuck it. Let's do it live.
All right, folks. Coming in hot today. Hot under the collar. Not necessarily hot in my team's performance, but here we
No,
are.
you're not. You're not.
We're doing the Week 9 recap. Hard to believe that Week 9 is already in the books. The season's flying by.
It's like that.
Hopefully it gets better for me, worse for Cody.
Loser.
Only time will tell. So here we are, ladies and gentlemen. We had an international game again, which tend to produce turds. To be honest with you, the teams don't necessarily play well overseas most of the time. Maybe with the exception of Jacksonville, since they're so used to it at this point.
Mm-hmm. This one was a dud for about 2.5 quarters until it picked up.
But it did pick up.
It did.
I mean, I guess, but it's the Chiefs and Dolphins, man. You expect more than that. Expect more than 35 points.
Well, I think you expect more of that from the Dolphins. I don't know how much you expect from the Chiefs. And the Chiefs are really, really good, but their offense is like not that thing that we remembered it with Tyreek Hill.
You expect it from the Chiefs in games against other teams that do it, though. Because they're slinging.
That's true.
Yeah, it's still Pat Mahomes.
We did get robbed out of a better ending. So, like, meh.
And also,
we were talking about like Chiefs Rams vibe for that one game, and it wasn't even half of that.
No, but if it was half of that, like that's still an amazing game.
Yeah,
like
one
half of that is amazing football. So
that return, the fumble return, was a pretty sweet play. Heads up, thinking by that the defensive player who picked it up. You know, and then what about the wheels on that safety? High stepping down the sideline. You know what I mean? He didn't have that quick trip step,
but he had long strides.
Yeah, dude. That man ran
when he opened it up, he showed off what he can do.
Yeah, we'll get to it. But if Tyreek doesn't fumble that ball, Patrick wins.
You know, guys, we'll get to it. We'll get to it quick. I got a few.
I mean, if literally anyone on his team catches one more ball for 0 yards, he wins. So
you know, guys. Anyway, like I said, we'll get to it.
Anyway, so we're gonna get to it with the first matchup.
I bet we do.
We will get to it.
I bet we do.
Yeah, if history is
we should get to it.
Time. Well, there's a few more things, man. You had Baltimore butt wrecking Seattle completely.
Baltimore maybe be the best team in the league, so
they might be, dude.
They might be. They might be.
They could be.
I'm not ready to say that yet.
I mean, as much as we were ready to say that about San Francisco, if we're willing to say it then, we should be willing to say it about Baltimore now.
Why?
Because they're so good.
They're well rounded. They're very.
I think the Seahawks were overrated. I think.
I also think that. I also think that.
I think they're a good team.
For me, it's more about them just buttholing Detroit the week before that. You know what I mean? And then doing it again to Seattle.
2 top half teams 2 weeks in a row, just killing them. Not even close. You know what I mean? Like, I think right now, they might not be the best team at the end of the year. But right now, you don't want to play Baltimore.
Well, they're also kind of like the antithesis of Miami, who can't beat a top team. And while Baltimore's pissed a couple away against bad teams, the teams that they do play that are good, they beat the shit out of.
Yeah, man. And then, you know, they could easily be undefeated right now. They lost a couple very close games there, you know.
With in weird ways.
Yeah, strange games that they should have won. You know, especially the Indianapolis game is the one that comes to mind. You know, they should have won that game easily. But, I mean, those are 2 of them. I think there's some other ones. There's some wacky endings. I mean, you get Minnesota, Josh Dobbs to the rescue.
He looked so good.
He did.
I mean,
he looked like a really good quarterback.
If he'd been there for like 4 games and then I watched this performance this Sunday, I still would have been very impressed.
Mm-hmm.
Josh Dobbs is doing his best Geno Smith impersonation of last year right now.
That's
a guy who's been around, never done it, and then all of a sudden this year he's winning games with a shit team in Arizona, beating the Cowboys, okay, with that team, and then he comes into Minnesota, barely knows the playbook, just shows up and he's like, yeah, I'm going to win this game real quick.
He seems so smart. They are calling him the Pastronaut now. And I'm fully on board with that.
he did go to Stanford, right? So I mean, I'm pretty sure that's where he went.
I don't know where he went to school.
Well, you got to be smart to go to Stanford.
Don't know.
He's supposed to be like super duper smart. I'm gonna look up.
He is a literal rocket scientist.
Yeah, he's an aerospace engineer.
Mm-hmm.
Well, there you go. Can't be a dummy and be one of those. So you got to know at least some math.
He went to Tennessee though, not Stanford.
Hey, he went to Stanford. All right, just pencil it in.
Fake news.
Fake news, dude. Don't you know by now? Don't believe everything you see on the internet.
Or here.
I know not to believe anything I hear from you, Patrick.
Well, hey, you know what, man? If you're talking to me about the Roman Empire, it's a different story. But otherwise,
hey, speaking of things that aren't real, let's talk about your team.
Yeah, let's talk about my team. Again, unfortunately, let down, even though having one of the best teams in the league and the most points by at least 70 still. Somehow, inexplicably, we're 4-5, folks, and tied with 90% of the rest of the league. We don't like it. We don't want it. We're tired of it. This is where it stops right now.
Patrick, you're better than Trisha, and that is all.
You know what, man? I'm still ranked ahead of all of them because of the output of my team, and that means that I'm better. So you're
basically tied for 11th.
I wish I was in your guys' side of the league because you have one team with a winning record.
Who has the lowest points scored? Once again, by the way.
No, not the lowest. Not the lowest
points scored. Okay, maybe the second lowest now.
Lowest points scored against.
Yeah, no, you're accurate.
Yeah, you know what I mean. Who cares?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, get it right. Get it right. Maybe you wouldn't be in the fucking swamp.
Hey, man, relax. Now, anyway,
that works.
Not at all, dude. We lose by 0.12. Are you shitting me? And
4-5 says what?
Okay, so Daryl Henderson shits the bed against Green Bay. Boring game to be at, by the way. Still fun. Lambeau's great anytime. Now, also, Atlanta literally would have won me the week too, but then they gave up a touchdown to Josh, whatever the fuck his name is, at the end of the game. And then we get Tyreek Hill putting up 8.5. What the hell is that? This Baltimore running 90 touchdowns a game and never throwing a touchdown is also getting old 2 weeks in a row. Can we get a passing touchdown, please, for Lamar? Okay. Quarterback 3, he's putting up 11 points. We can't have it. We're tired of it. Anyway, that's what I got.
Oof. Okay. Any direct words to your wife that you
Well, there was a bet. There was a bet, and I lost, so she knows it's going to be what it is.
Is it shareable?
Nope, it's not. So,
okay.
Anyway,
Patrick's getting pegged.
Hey.
He didn't win. He didn't win.
I am doing the pegging, actually, sir. No. Anyway, okay. Now, that visual aside.
Oh, wait, hold on. She mentioned something in the group message about you stealing one of her trade ideas. Can I ask you about that?
Let's talk about it.
I've been giving her shit all day because the guy she's going to pick up I kind of like too, but I don't have a spot for him. So I thought I was going to because of this trade with Allen, but that's not going to go through by waiver time. So we're not going to have a spot, and we're not sacrificing one of these players to get him just on a whim. So I don't think
she wasn't trying to make a trade. The way I read it was that she was trying to maybe work a trade with Allen, and you snuck in and stole it.
Yeah,
I still think that's what happened. I still think that's what happened.
It's not actually.
Now, even though you're telling me that, I still think that's exactly what.
Bring Eric on screen just to verify.
Is Eric in the room?
She's at work.
Interesting.
So.
That means tied up in the closet.
Yeah. Hey. Hey. Anyway, maybe that was the bet. You don't know.
Yeah, anyway. She did win. She did win. She did win. So anyhow, ladies and gents, I do like the prospects in this trade with Allen. Had they give up some of course you do. You like everything. You like everything about your 4-5 team. You fucking trash.
This guy, you just push on. Just keep pushing on through the slides, folks. This is, you know what? My endurance in this podcast is like a lesson in life for folks. You just keep
I'm rubber, you're glue.
Keep going through the bullshit.
At least you can admit that it's bullshit, because I'm not sure that you see things the same way as the rest of us.
Hey, we talked about this during the game, man. I'm an eternal optimist when it comes to whatever the hell I'm doing in life. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So it's got pros and cons.
One of the cons is losing.
Does it have cons? because you don't seem to acknowledge it yet.
I mean, that's right. So even if there were, I wouldn't know, and I wouldn't tell you if I did. So, um, no, honestly, the trade though, I was just going to touch on that for a minute. We can run down through Erica's team, but I have reservations. I mean, I think Javonte is on the verge of a breakout here. 30 touches last time he was on the field. No, I absolutely do. I absolutely do. No, I'm being genuine. I do.
They had a fucking fluke win against the Chiefs, and it's the best thing he'll do ever. And you tricked Allen into giving Tony Pollard about it. Allen, I can't believe you.
This guy, these people.
I cannot believe
denigrating my integrity.
You get nervous when you're at 4-5, Allen, as you should be. But listen, he's also 4-5.
Yeah, the trade was. I understand it a little bit because, like, the promise maybe of Kyler Murray will get somebody to move some people. But
they're tanking.
But you look at the other two. You went down on your running back from Pollard to Williams. You went down in your receiver from DK Metcalf to T. Higgins. Maybe not largely, but you got worse at both of the two spots you traded. And then a big, giant question mark at quarterback.
Oh, man, Allen.
I don't think that you can say that DK and Higgins are anything but absolutely equal. I mean, honestly, you have Jamar Chase is injured right now. T. Higgins has 2 good performances in a row. DK Metcalf is the wide receiver 45 on the year, okay? Geno Smith has been playing like a hot bag of garbage, all right?
Even if I concede that, because they are pretty even.
Yeah.
Williams and Pollard, Pollard maybe hasn't done a whole lot to start the season, but he's still – don't act like he hasn't done anything. He's still RB2, safely RB2 territory.
I mean, listen. If we want to pull the stats here, the last time Tony Pollard had a good game, let's look at it. Last time Tony Pollard had a good game was week 6.
So why'd you trade for him, Patrick? Talk to me.
Why did I trade for him? You want to know why I traded for him? New York Giants, Carolina Panthers, Washington Commanders, and then we got Seattle, Philly, and Buffalo. Buffalo is not good against the run. Philly's the worst matchup there. The rest of them are golden. That's why we traded for him.
And you're pretty desperate to sneak into that playoff. So,
I mean, I need more help at running back. I got Monty coming back. It was nice to see Ramondre do something this week. Ramondre had a very nice run, a 60-yard, some touchdown.
I talked to Cody about the struggles he's going to face with having Dallas's defense in the playoffs. Your Tony Pollard's going to go against Philadelphia, Buffalo, and Miami's defense in the playoffs. That might be bad.
I'm not worried about Buffalo and Miami. Philly is the worst matchup you can have against a running back right now. They are absolute lockdown against the run.
That's real.
Yeah. So that's the only one I'm worried about. And I'm going to have to get past that round. But I got other guys. I'm loading up.
You're not going to see that round, Patrick.
Loading up.
You got beat by Sam Howell this week.
I know I got beat. Sam Howell's been beating a lot of people for the record. He's got like 4 weeks in a row with over 300 yards. So hold
for the record.
For a minute.
For the record.
Yeah.
That's that.
We don't like
300 yards.
Well, whatever. So anyway, what I'm trying to say is we don't like that Raheem Mostert, the whole game was doing nothing, and then all of a sudden, right at the end of the game, decides to get a touchdown. Thanks a lot, bud. You could have just scored that 1 point that you were on for like 3.5 quarters, and that would have been cool. But no, you just had to ruin my week. You know what I mean? It's fucking annoying, I tell you.
Love to see it. Love to see it. I mean, what else? Oh, man, I don't know what to talk about your team. Your quarterback is letting you down. Your number 1 receiver is letting you down.
Steph Diggs did it again like he always does. T. Higgins had a nice game. Mark Andrews had a good game for a tight end. That's what it is.
All right.
You know?
I mean, your MVP, Jake Elliott, had a regular game, so that's why you lost.
He's getting booted. He's out of there.
That's it. One bad game.
God.
See ya.
He's out.
Yeah, he's
the
out.
Kicker won on the season.
He's gone now because it's a bye week. So if you want him, go get him. I don't give a shit. Kickers don't matter. No, anyway,
kickers don't matter.
It doesn't matter. Okay, he's the kicker one because they were not able to score a touchdown the first 5 weeks. That's why he's the kicker one. Look at his last 4 weeks when they've been playing good offense. He's been dog shit. Kickers don't matter.
Kickers don't matter.
Kickers don't matter.
Kickers don't matter. All
so
right. It's nice that we don't have to see him again next. Can we get a vote in prior to the draft so that it's we're not waiting another season?
Here's
So,
here's a good
not have
example of it
kickers.
too. Just look at the two kickers in this matchup. One of them is the kicker 1. The other one is the kicker 26, and they have a difference in average points per week of just over 3.
Yeah. So they don't matter at all.
They
Don't
don't.
matter.
Just
Don't matter.
find a team that you think can move the ball, but can't necessarily score touchdowns.
As long as they're not going to get 0 pointed, you're going to be fine with that kicker.
Pick the kicker on the offense you think is going to make it to the opposing 30-yard line and stall out.
A good example would be like
What a
Tennessee.
thing to try for. Fuck, I hate
Tennessee or New Orleans. Good examples. Tampa Bay. Okay, they can move the ball a little bit, but their quarterback's probably going to fuck up in the red zone, and they're going to kick a field goal. Those are the teams you want to target.
Yep.
But anyway, the only other thing I would say for Erica is hurts that she's probably going to lose Josh Downs for a while. He did not look right. They pulled him right away. He's probably going to be out for a little bit. Deontay Johnson made it to the promised land after like 2 years of not catching a touchdown.
Mm-hmm.
And he looks nice. You know, I've always thought he's one of the best route runners in the NFL, if not as explosive as some of the other guys we put in that category. But he is always open. Deontay Johnson is a very good route runner. He's just fragile.
Definitely not time to sell Deontay Johnson stock. Hold on to that. You hold on to that for the rest of the season. Because I feel like now that force field of the end zone's been unlocked, I feel like he's going to get there a few more times.
Could be. Very well could be. He's just not a touchdown scorer type of guy, though. You know what I mean? He's a 10, 15-yard a catch. He's an after-the-catch guy. He's get out of his break really quick and pick up 10 yards to catch that way, too. You know, he does what Stephon Diggs does. He's just not as good an athlete as Stephon Diggs. That's what he reminds me of.
And he's not on an offense that tends to like force feed the ball to playmakers. They spread it out pretty well.
They do, except for him. Generally, when he's on the field, he's commanding about 10 targets a game. Like, that's always been the value for Johnson. You know what I mean? So they do make sure to get him the ball. And he's clearly, when he's healthy, he's always – the last 2-3 years he's been the wide receiver 1. So, you know. But anyway, that's all I got. Suck it, Erica. You know what?
It's suck it, Patrick. You lost.
Your team's not good. You got lucky. Celebrate your first win against me. It'll
She's
never happen.
7-2.
Yeah, she's
acting like she didn't deserve it.
Right, like she's gonna get a bye, dog. Like you need to start talking about her team like
a lot of season left. Folks.
Not really.
Yeah, there's a whole third of the season.
4 weeks of the regular season.
That's not a viable argument.
Yeah, a whole third of the season. That's a lot to me.
Only a third of the season.
Hey, as we said, eternal optimist feels like a lot. So anyway, we'll keep it moving, huh?
You're gonna be the best team in the loser ladder, Patrick. I'll give you that.
Nope. We're going to get in, and we're going to bust that ass in the second round because you probably will get the bye off of luck at this point. And then we're going to cruise on into the championship.
Based off of luck at this point. Oh, yeah.
Call it, man?
Trophy's already home.
I mean, I don't know. Probably the consistency of being in the championship season all year or every year is what I mean to say. I don't know.
Consistency of winning with 80-point weeks. I'm not impressed.
It is remarkable.
Consistency.
It is absolutely remarkable.
It's to be remarked upon.
He put up 121 points this week, so this isn't the best week for the argument. But then you look at this 57 against him, and you're like, well,
look at that 57 against me.
You could have sneezed.
That's right. It wouldn't have mattered.
Can we do that matchup next so I can just say, what are you doing, Strozy?
Yeah,
you want to do that matchup next? You want to do it? You want to do that matchup next?
Let's do it. I mean, he didn't have anything. Nobody did anything for him.
Nah, just the same old story.
Hasn't he had 2 weeks like that? Let me look at his schedule just to make sure.
It's the same.
No,
he's had 2 weeks where he scored 73 and now a 58. That's 3 big old duds.
Because it's the same.
I thought
he's got a better record than a bunch of people.
You know what? He's got one win more than me. So
yeah,
anyway,
he does. He does have one more than you.
All I'm trying to say though is that Strozy, I thought you were saying the last 2 weeks because last week Strozy lit the world on fire. I think he put up like 150, 160 last week.
Yeah, 154.
Yeah.
That's his whole season. He's up and down. 100, then 125, 146, and then it plunges down 125, 73. It's been a roller coaster season for Strozy.
Well, I mean, there's reasons for it, right? Herbert was not needed in the wrecking that the Chargers defense put on Zach Wilson last night. Joey Bosa and Khalil Mack were having a party in the backfield.
They were.
Kareem Hunt, I mean, similar to that story, Cleveland Browns completely butt wrecked Arizona, so nobody on Cleveland's offense needed to do much. Keontae Ingram is just a bad fill-in choice. I don't know what we're doing playing him against the Browns. I mean, he's not good, and you're playing him against one of the best defenses in the league.
Yeah, the Browns defense isn't something I want to see any of my players going up against.
I don't think he had much of a choice, though. Jameer Gibbs on a bye. Justice Hill will be the next one up because James Conner's on IR. Probably back this week. But that was one of his best options with DeMarcado being ruled out kind of late.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I guess so, but it's still Cleveland, man, and it's still Arizona.
It's a terrible option, but if it's the best option, it's still the best terrible option.
That's true. It's fair. Cody, what do you got for your incredibly lucky team?
I just put my guys in a position,
Oh, do you? This guy. Can we skip forward a week to when he nice.
Yeah.
We like it.
Hey, trade embargo has been lifted, and I'll take Tank Dell going from wide receiver 50 to wide receiver 31 with one performance.
Who saw that coming?
Thank you. It was me.
Tank Dell is great.
You did not. Shut up.
I mean,
you
the result
were even surprised by it.
Starting lineup, baby.
That's because you had no choice either. Insert prior argument
this guy
that I just made.
I don't know what we're doing, giving away one of the best rookie prospects in the league for a guy who's on
Drake London
that can't figure out how to throw the ball, and then who's also was injured at the time, I believe, too. I don't really understand that trade.
He was, and that's why I needed to jump on that trade right away. I didn't have another guy, and so I said, "Hey, you want to do this trade?" I'm like, "Well, I need someone to start." And I've been looking for a reason to get rid of Drake London. I feel like the ceiling could possibly be really high on Tank Dell. I mean, the floor could be on the floor too. But because of what we've seen out of Houston,
didn't even play. London didn't play, and Tank Dell got you 26. So
yeah, he did.
Wow, only 1 week of results in, but that trade looks one-sided.
Yeah, when are we going to bring out the pitchforks for the rapist on the left over here?
Look, listen to me. The pitchforks have been out with my name on them since week 1. Okay, don't you start with me. It's my own fault. But we're sitting here at 7-2 about it. So
yeah, well, you're soon to be 7-6 or whatever it is. So
you don't know how math works.
Yeah, don't worry about it.
Do you four game lead?
Yeah,
right.
Hey, relax.
I took a lot of drugs. Okay, you leave me alone.
3-game lead, 4 weeks left. We got this shit locked up.
You heard what I said?
Yeah. Hey, you saw what I was doing before this pod, so hey, take it easy. You know what I mean? Anyway, so anyhow, we're gonna talk a little bit about the Cowboys game because Dak Prescott looks nice lately. Mm-hmm. We've been making plays, we're making throws. Him and CD got it going on.
Yeah.
Just not enough there at the end of the game. Came very close. Came 3 yards, in fact.
I've got some gripes. I've got some gripes that are some are legitimate and some are not. But luckily even with all those mistakes, you look at a team that is right there against the best team in the NFC, which is probably Philadelphia. And I want to see him 3 times. I want to see him again. And I mean, obviously we're going to see him again with the division. I'm talking the again. I want to see him time number 3 because I hate Philly so much.
It's a tough loss too, especially it's nice to pull the silver lining because it was close and Dak performed well. But you go against your biggest rival, your biggest competition in their stadium, and you see some calls don't quite go your way too. On top of that, you get that close. That's the punch in the gut for me.
Yeah,
almost overcame all the adversity, and then just an inch shy.
Yeah.
To be fair and play devil's advocate as not a Cowboys fan, they had some significant help on that last drive.
They did on the last drive. They did. They did. I mean, that huge pass interference call was pass interference. So I wouldn't say than that. But I mean, they did It was just a weird game because there was a lot of letting them play moments, and then there was like some ticky tacky. Okay, we're
Some
gonna call
real
that
ticky
though.
tacky, like a hand being a neutral zone infraction.
Yeah.
So speaking of which, at the Packers game on Sunday, I'm sure you guys didn't watch that game. It was boring as shit. Nobody should have watched it.
It was boring.
It was fun to go to live though. Lambeau Field is always good. It doesn't matter if it's a 6-3 game. It's always a good time. Mm-hmm. But anyway, Packers got called 2 times in that game for offensive offsides. What the hell is that?
Like, it's your right tackle not being on the line. That's what it is.
I get it. But one of them, they literally showed the replay like 10 times because the crowd was just booing. And they showed it right down the line over and over. Everybody's going nuts because they literally did a tush push, got the first down. We could have went in and got like 3 points. They went for it on 4th. We were on their 45. It was just brutal, man. Like, it's gross. And then one drive later, they did it again. Like, I've never seen that called more than once a season in the NFL, like much less twice a game, dude.
On the same team.
Yeah, insane. Yeah.
Yeah, someone said something about someone else's mother. That's what's going on there.
I don't know, man. It was weird. But, it is what it is.
Well, I mean, but of other things to look at, though, the things that have gone really well for my season that have gifted me some wins is Puka Nacua being the best rookie receiver in the league, fantasy-wise. And he, because Matt Stafford didn't play, and we all knew that was going to happen, had a very pedestrian day. The Cowboys, because they're playing the Eagles, didn't get all the turnovers that they almost had. So pedestrian day fantasy-wise. And seeing 4.7 and 4 in those 2 slots right next to each other and still getting a monster win is the dirtiest thing. And I fucking love it because that's how I've been sneaking out wins is those weird parts. You know what I'm saying? Like getting those huge fucking 25 skis from places they shouldn't be arriving. Yeah. And when those don't happen, winning by double again feels good.
It's absurd.
Feels good.
Speaking of Stafford not playing, did you guys see who signed with the Rams?
I did. Carson Wentz doing backing up work out in LA. Cool, he's a backup. Who gives a shit?
He's trying to pull some Nick Foles in case the Rams
but he ain't.
Well, duh.
Yeah.
He's got to be better than Ripien, though. I mean, like I said, everybody knows we were at that game. Oh, my God.
Brett Ripien's bad.
Oh, my God.
Bad.
So bad.
Mm-hmm. So bad they signed another quarterback.
They did.
Packers defense.
They saw it one time. They go, oh, okay.
Before they were like, Wentz has been available all season, but we got Ripien. And then they gave him one game, and they're like, well, what's Wentz's number?
Jair Alexander's excitement level on the field, because we were not that far from him. We were behind the bench. We could see the players like facial expressions and shit after plays, like when they would come over. Jair Alexander's like excitement level in that game was like a slow upward roller coaster, dude. Because like he Ripien just kept making these boneheaded throws. And Alexander's just over there, like just imagining all like you could see it, man. Like the wheels turning. He come over to
just seeing all the bonuses in his contract based on performance. Like these are the games where you get them. This is where you get season stat numbers, baby. Let's go.
My man had like 7 passes defense. One of them turned into an interception. I think he got an interception, maybe. I don't remember, but he definitely caused one, and he made a bunch of other big plays. But Cooper Kupp had 1 catch. It was hilarious. And then when we were going out of the game, there was a guy wearing a Kupp jersey, and people were chanting, "Who the fuck is Cooper Kupp?"
Awesome. Yeah.
It was a good one to chant. It's got a good cadence to it.
It is.
Who the fuck is Cooper Kupp?
Well, and you have to get the awareness, like, all right, so he has to be something to like have that said about him, and then have a bad day. So just the significance of that chant is just really exact and really good.
If I recall, he had 1 catch, and it didn't happen until like the 4th quarter. So it was a. Well, rough day.
he's the number 2 receiver on a team featuring Brett Ripien at quarterback. So what do you do?
The number 2 receiver. You're hilarious.
Hey, look at him. Look at the numbers.
Oh yeah, sure. Because he missed the first quarter of the season.
Yeah,
look at the numbers since he's been back. Fuck you.
Whatever.
Well, look at it this week.
Do it right now.
Cooper Kupp had a couple big games. Puka had a couple of games.
Do it.
They're pretty even, dude.
Look at
I know who's have been better. It doesn't
Yeah.
fucking matter. Cooper Kupp is still mountains better than Puka Nacua.
Okay, in the 4 weeks, hold on. In the 4 weeks since Cooper Kupp's been back, Puka had one 19-point week and then 5, 6, and 5. Shut the fuck up.
Yeah, it was that exactly.
Oh, one of those is from.
Did you look at his numbers?
What are Cooper's
before
numbers?
you said that?
What are Cooper's numbers in those games?
Oh my god,
Cooper's numbers.
I said compare him. I just said compare him.
Off the fucking rails over here.
Yeah, we are.
The exact same.
Oh.
6, 6, 4, and 24. Even a little bit better.
What I will admit for you is that Aaron Jones looked much healthier in that game, and he was running the ball
thank God
well.
he can finally run.
Yeah, he looked good. He was shifty, making moves on the field.
Yeah,
had one bad fumble, but it was a very wet game. There's a lot of fumbles in that game.
Hey, rest easy. Your running back 1 is the running back 35 on the year.
Hey, boy,
we did it. We did it. We
broke
did it
into the top 40. Nice job. I don't really think there's much to say for Strozzi other than better luck.
Womp, womp.
Yeah, I mean, you're right there in the middle of the. Well, no, he's actually ahead of the pack. So
he's got his head above the swamp right now.
I mean, he's
currently in the 3 spot by about 20 points.
Treading water. But what I was going to say was kind of the other big news in this is that Dallas Goedert goes down with a forearm, maybe potentially broken.
I didn't. Yeah, it is fractured. He's probably gonna miss a month. So yeah, that'll be an IR spot. I'm back to streaming tight ends, which is unfortunate because I had him locked in because I feel like they figured him. They finally figured out how to use him, and they were doing it well. And that's something I just wasn't looking at. Which now back to doing that with everybody who doesn't have
on tight ends.
Travis Kelce and Mark Andrews. So
I know that's why we get Mark Andrews early, folks, because we don't like to play that game. But anyway, we just like to play the Alexander Madison game and then trade him away when he becomes the workhorse back again for the Minnesota Vikings.
For the record, did not like to play the Alexander Madison game.
You never liked it.
I know. I said I didn't like that.
We got to move on from this matchup because it feels like we're spending 40 minutes on Bash and Strozzi, and I'm not here for it. I like the guy too much.
Lying ass. We can still move on.
I don't.
Fucking guy.
Not the
Strozzi, but
not the knight in shining armor. This guy.
Hey, look! I look down on this league benevolently from my 7-2 perch.
I think he enjoys a little bit of not sidekick, but like lackey status from Strozzi because Strozzi's kind of piggybacked on some of the shit talking that Cody's been doing. So
you call him lackey status?
Yeah,
you call him lackey. So he's a hell of a man, sir.
It's average lackey.
He's a little man.
He's a grown man. You understand? You dare talk about Strozzi that way.
He's 40.
That comment had nothing to do with sliding Strozzi and everything to do with the fact that Cody's mercy for him is completely feigned.
Oh, 100%. Never believe it.
That's your opinion, sir.
Oh, that took a second to get out. All right, on to the next.
Because it was so funny. So funny. I had to catch my breath.
Talk about the heater. Let's talk about the heater that Austin has been on lately.
Dude,
out of nowhere, on a heater, Mr. Austin here. And you know what he's doing here is he's riding the back of them Baltimore big running days from Gus Edwards 2 weeks in a row now. Although you saw Keaton Mitchell slide in there and look good.
Oh man, I tell you what, I feel so bad. I got him right before he pulled off the IR, and I had to make so many moves that I end up having to cut him right before he splashed.
You know what he gave me vibes of? You know what he gave me vibes of? Mr. H-N.
I get that.
Looked like out there.
I just I thought I was sitting on an unknown little gem, and I was just praying I could cut other people before I had to, and couldn't do it.
I think he takes the Justice Hill role off of that performance. Is what I think happens. You know,
I think you're right.
Still, Gus Bus is still going to get the majority of touches, but you're going to see some high value touches from Mr. Mitchell where they're scheming, getting him into space with that speed because. He may not be as fast as H-N. I don't think anybody in the NFL is right now. I think H-N literally is the fastest guy in the NFL. But Keaton Mitchell's quick. I mean, we're talking like 4.4.
The fastest guy in the NFL is Tyreek Hill. Easy.
No, he's not. He's not.
He is.
No, he's not. Faster 40 time. Look it up.
No, it doesn't matter. Homie.
Look it up.
Patrick, how do you feel about shipping out Gus Edwards now that he's averaging 22 points for the last 3 weeks?
We're doing all right at running back now. I'm not worried about it. Monty's
God,
coming back. We got
We're
Ramondre.
we're
Pollard's
doing
coming
all right.
in. No, we are.
Okay.
See, he can't even admit that he feels a little shitty about giving away the 22 point a week, man.
Over managing his team again to the middle of the pack.
To-
You're so good at creating a middle of the pack that you've done that with our entire league, my guy.
This guy talking to me about middle of the pack when he's fucking riding 83-point wins every other fucking week. Get the fuck
You're
out
right.
of
Wins.
Get the fuck out of here,
that I'm
you
riding.
lucky bastard. Anyway,
popcorn bag.
Anyway, we're still bitter about a certain Madden loss that ended in a rage. So we'll just keep it moving here, folks. It's been a tough week. You're gonna fucking get your ass handed to you.
You know, as the leader of this room, you can mute Cody at any point. I'm just saying.
That's a fact.
Well, we keep the integrity of the podcast. We believe in free speech over here.
Not the integrity of our league, but whatever.
Cody.
A man with no integrity. No. So anyhow, if we're talking about Austin still to get some fantasy talk in here, we got he's riding the backs of Gus Edwards here, and Derrick Henry, the Yeti, is alive. It's going to be that time of year where Derrick Henry becomes untackleable. Defenses are banged up. It gets cold. You don't want to hit that man. He does it every year in November, and it looks like it's starting to happen for him right now.
Yep.
He just looked like himself in that Pittsburgh game, like especially that play he made at the goal line. 3 guys draped off him, and he's just like, "No, I'm bigger than stronger than all of you." Touchdown. Like, there's not that many guys who can do that. You know what I mean? A lot of guys are going down in that situation. Not Derrick Henry.
Henry.
So
Austin is there was a 4-point loss to me a couple weeks ago, but other than that, he could have railed off 5 in a row after starting 0-4.
That's right.
2 big calls for Austin this week that really cemented this win for him. Jonnu Smith, sharp call. He's been more productive than Kyle Pitts. I like the play.
Unbelievable that he's been more productive than Kyle Pitts.
He's the tight end 10 on the season.
And ripped off a monster play in that game, too. Like, you forget how athletic Jonnu Smith is when he's healthy. He's just been banged up a lot, but that man can move for a big man. He's got some wheels on him,
Unbelievable.
And then, Los Angeles, again, like we were saying, just beat the freaking brakes off of New York last night. They could not block
26 points.
Well, and they have a crazy 3-headed monster there. And the big if for the Chargers always is, can they keep it together? Can they stay healthy without one of these 2 or 3 of these guys blowing an ACL at some point, like they always do every single year? If they keep that D-line together, Khalil Mack, Joey Bosa on the outside, and they got this Tuilatu or whatever guy in the middle who is like a burgeoning pass rush talent as well. And they looked unblockable, Yep. So that is going to be a storyline for them going the rest of the year. But anyhow, the other thing I would mention for Austin is you like to see Dobbs coming in and look good because it's probably going to make Addison relevant still for the rest of the year. Be interesting to see what happens to Addison when Jefferson comes back, because they're in the playoff hunt. They're 5-4, so JJ's coming back and they're going to play for real the rest of the year, so
it's going to be fun to see how Dobbs does with JJ coming back too. Sucks with Akers being injured, but like he gives that team like a real fighting chance. Obviously, they're not a contender like top of the pack, but just the amount of plays I saw Dobbs create out of nothing, add a playmaker like Justin Jefferson on top of that. So there's some real potential.
If they keep finding ways to win games and they can hit, as the English say, a game off of the Lions, they could steal the division. The Lions are not untouchable. They're clearly the cream in the North this year. I mean, that's undeniable. But the Vikings defense has really actually come together in recent weeks too. Like, they looked like a floor mat early on in the year, and they've been playing a lot better over the last 3-4 weeks, So they got a couple linebackers back there. They got the Neil Hunter up front. Harrison Smith is always a good talent at safety. Like they have a solid defense if they keep coming together and being able to make plays. So and
they create a lot of opportunities because of how like just the defensive design. They're always flying to the ball. They send a lot of pressure too. They create a lot of chaos.
Yeah. Flores loves the blitz, and it creates turnovers. I've seen a lot of Minnesota defensive touchdowns this year. They've had quite a few. So they're an opportunistic defense. They're not a lockdown defense, but sometimes that's all you need in the NFL. You get one big play on defense can swing a game.
On the other side of that matchup, though, how do we feel about Bijan Robinson? Because he got stymied.
Arthur Smith needs to get fired. He's not a good coach. He has one of the best young rosters in the league on offense, and he does not know how to call plays. Get him out of there. Put Kellen Moore in there, and let's see what the fuck happens. Because
names like Bijan Robinson and Kyle Pitts are met with calls to fire Arthur Smith, and I love that because he's like somehow like he is like a good football coach, but like what the fuck is he doing?
He is not a good football.
What are you basing that off of?
The fact that like he can get non-athletes to perform. Well, okay, not non-athletes. That's incorrect.
Like the people like the Cordero Pattersons.
Not superstars. Like non-superstars being productive in the NFL doesn't happen without good coaching. Like Jonnu Smith having a monster game. It's great. It's great that he can do that. He shouldn't be doing that when he's playing backup to Kyle Pitts. Like Tyler Algier is good. He shouldn't be having monster games as the backup to Bijan Robinson.
Well, I mean, that can happen in the NFL. Sometimes the backup comes in, has a better game, but he should not be getting the volume that he's getting. Absolutely not. The other thing I want to mention, since we're singing the praises of Arthur Smith over Cordero, hold the phone
singing the praises of
because Cordero Patterson's breakout year came when Dan Quinn was still the head coach. It was not when Arthur Smith was the guy. That was Dan Quinn's last year. It was 3 years ago.
I think that's accurate.
Pretty sure it was 3 years ago.
His breakout was just last year, was it not?
It was last year.
No, it wasn't. I thought it was the year before.
It might have been the year, but it might have been the year before last year. But that's still not Dan Quinn.
Yeah, Dan Quinn was still in Dallas the year before.
Yeah,
whatever. Anyway, so whatever. Okay, Arthur Smith sucks. Like, let's get an actual, 21st century coach in Atlanta, please. Okay, you don't need any more of this 80s. Between the tackles 90 times.
Okay.
Even when it's not working. And we should have moved to Taylor Heineke in week 2. Okay, like
we should move to the next matchup.
We should talk about Brand's team a little bit because we haven't, except for Bijan. We just got to.
Josh Allen doing the damn thing, even in a loss. The Bengals are doing the Bengal thing, and sucking
they're really good
in the year and coming back, and just remind everybody that they're still great. Probably going to be in the AFC Championship. So
they probably are against the Ravens.
Yeah, maybe so.
Gabe Davis with a 0.0. That man is a liability. He's like playing with dynamite having that guy on your roster.
Yep.
Yeah.
I don't like guys like that. Can't do it.
You know who likes guys like that? People that win point titles. Because it doesn't matter that they win every week. They just want total points.
Except he's not going to win it.
Sure, but 50% of the time,
you're right.
2 points.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Not even great for that guy unless you play it right every week.
If Gabe Davis is on your team every year, bad team. But if you fucking move Gabe Davis, if he's involved in a few trades here and there because you're trying to get some hot spice, now that's where you should see Gabe Davis. It's just
a value to be created by that up and down.
Yeah. Yeah, he's a dynamic guy, and dynamic people can let you down.
Yeah, man. I think what you do with Gabe Davis is you try to find the teams who are playing man coverage and you play him against them because that's where he shines. He's not a zone guy. He's not a great route runner. He's a great one-on-one over the top and mossing people and catching big touchdowns. That's what he does.
Who in the league's playing man coverage right now that isn't a shutdown defense?
There's teams that'll do it, but I don't know.
Name one.
I think the Bengals generally play a good amount of man coverage, and I would not necessarily call them a shutdown defense.
Okay.
They played the Bengals this week, and it didn't work. So it doesn't really help my argument that much. But we didn't really think about that before we started saying it. But but anyhow, you hear what I'm trying to say is like maybe that's what you do, but even that doesn't work clearly in this matchup. So the one other thing that I would say about Brandt's team, well, 2 actually, is that Saquon, You love to see the volume, how involved he is. He's going to get even more involved because they got Danny DeVito running quarterback the next 4 weeks. So you don't like to see that.
Don't besmirch Danny DeVito's name. Not here.
His brother Tommy is playing quarterback in New York right now. Much taller version of Danny, probably not as funny. But it might not like subs as much. I don't know. I don't know what his diet is. But the other thing I would say is that Brant's going to have a hard time picking between these tight ends every week because he's got 2 tight ends that are basically the same guy. They do the same thing every week.
Yep.
And he picked the wrong one this week. It wouldn't have helped him win, but I don't know how you're going to pick that, So
point flip. I mean, you could try out matchups, but even then.
Well, shit, I'm not picking Jake Ferguson against Philly before that game either. So,
no, definitely not.
Probably true.
Yeah, what do you do?
Although, if you look at the numbers, Philly is a great run defense. They have not been that great against the pass, actually.
Yeah, that's true. That's accurate.
They've been giving it up. So
they've been giving it up to Sam Howell.
Been giving it up to a lot of folks. They're not a great pass defense.
No. Yeah, you heard it here first. The Eagles are trash.
Well, which is kind of surprising. It's a little bit surprising that they're not better against the pass because, Darius Slay has never been a lockdown corner. He's a big play corner. That's what he does. He gives up plays, but he makes big plays. But you have that, but he's very talented. And then you have Bradbury on the other side. We're not going in the weeds. Just give me a second here. Yeah, Bradbury on the other side, and they bring in Bayard from the Titans, who is a very good safety too. So you would expect them to be better. I don't understand what's going on there, but
Nick Sirianni just can't coach defense, so that's all it is.
To beat those Cowboys, though, huh? Anyway, so
the refs did it.
Austin and Brant, who's got the better chance of making the playoffs?
Austin.
I'm going Austin. Yeah.
Ooh.
There it is.
I see his team ascending and playing well consistently, and I see a very inconsistent team for Brant, and that's going to lead to him not being in the playoffs.
What? Who picked who in this matchup between the three of us?
I
think I said Austin. Pretty sure I said Austin because
we have it on. I know that we keep track, so I didn't know if that was available to us.
I have not written it down. I need to start doing that as we do it, but no, I need to go back and listen to it.
So anyhow, we'll figure that out. But let's move on to a kind of stinker matchup here, where you have the last place Catalina Wine Mixon. Fantastic name. Trish's been killing it with the names this year. She's been changing. Catalina Wine Mixon, very nice name. Probably ripped it off the internet, because it's one of those ones, but I don't give a shit. It's a great name. Yeah. She pulls the upset against.
Love that. I love that she did that.
I do too, because she kept them behind me, which I needed. So
more like even with you, but yeah, I hear what you're saying.
No, he's behind me because I have more points. So you're wrong. Anyway,
with the guy with Christian McCaffrey, you need him to lose the week McCaffrey's on a bye, and that's what we got. It took him being on bye and a 10-point margin, but we got it.
Mm-hmm.
I offered him Tyreek Hill from McCaffrey today because he asked for it. And then he's like, I was just joking. I didn't think you had Hill. And I was like, I do. And I would do that trade. Let's do it.
God, I would too.
Oh, absolutely.
I would do that trade almost regardless of which side I was on it. Just because I want to see those names swip. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, goddamn.
Swip them up.
Swip them up.
So, anyway,
around.
I was just trying to get more consistency. Is what I was
Trish had come into the bar Friday night. Todd and Trish and I almost every Friday talk a little bit of fantasy football for about 15 minutes while they have a couple of drinks. And they were asking me, they're like, who do you think, Dalton Schultz or Trey McBride? Obviously, they're not going to do what I say because I even said, go Trey McBride. I said, you don't want – I said, nobody gives a fuck about Dalton Schultz. I said, sure, Trey McBride is going against Cleveland, but it's Dalton Schultz. Thank God she didn't listen to me because Dalton Schultz put up 22, and that's the difference.
That's the difference, man.
CJ Stroud breaks the rookie passing yards in a single game record.
Mm-hmm.
That's the level of
that's
CJ
something we all
Stroud,
saw coming too. We all said it. CJ Stroud's going to be the best pick quarterback of the draft this year. We all said it.
We all thought he sucked in the preseason.
We all knew it, man. We all
thought he was terrible.
We're like, yep, go down to Houston. Prolific passing offense with that defensive coach, D'Amico Ryans.
Yeah, Houston's definitely going to win the division. That's what we all said. Remember, guys?
We all said it.
That's wild. 470 yards and 5 touchdowns with 0 interceptions.
It's a shame that only 114 of those yards went to Tank Dell.
Well, he spread the ball around. Dalton Schultz, huge game. Nico Collins, nice game. Noah Brown.
Big plays. He only completed 30 passes. That's like 15 yards a completion.
He lit those boys on fire in Tampa. You know, it was pretty crazy. Anyhow, not much else to speak of really on Trish's team. Joe Mixon has been consistent lately. 2 weeks to get it done.
Yeah.
Joe Burrow, nice to see him healthy and looking like the Joe Cool that we all love to see.
Yeah, she's finally got a QB1 actually.
Yeah, she's got the Joe Burrow she paid for. She just didn't get him until after the season was over.
Until it's too late. Yeah.
So,
yeah.
But anyhow, Jacoby's team. I don't know why we're still playing Jordan Love. He got lucky that the Packers were playing a team that literally didn't have a quarterback. And you know what? I will say this about Jordan Love. He played good, mistake-free football, and he completed 75% of his passes. So we like that. That's what we need Jordan Love to do, to have a freaking chance.
You need Jordan Love to do a little more than that.
Honestly, if we had him just do that, like I know you guys love to bag on the Packers, like their defense can make plays. And
I mean, we just bag on bad teams.
Thank you. That's exactly what I was going to say. And they're 3-5. They're not good.
Well, they won a game. They're going to play the Steelers. They could beat the Steelers too.
They can beat the Steelers, but they're not going to.
They could. And
they're not gonna, but they could
too, because the Chargers.
Yeah, you're right. They could, and they're not beat them either.
Well, when we're 5-5, we'll have this discussion again over a cigar.
Now, why'd you smell your fingers like they were in pussy? Why'd you do that? That was weird. Why'd you do that on the internet?
We're doing that first. We're doing the CD Lamb, dude. You should like
That's not what you did. It's on video. We saw what you did. It's not what you did.
Well, there ain't no pussy around
like this.
Oh, there you go.
Like this. You know, look at the other tight ends on the matchup. They'll segue back into this matchup and away from the pussy fingers.
Yeah, we gotta get out of here.
If Jacoby swaps his tight ends, he wins too. He's got Cole Kmet with a 20 burger down there.
He's got the number 5 tight end, and he started David Njoku.
David Njoku's matchup is a little bit better. I don't necessarily fault him that, but Cole Kmet has been on a heater this year and is playing very well. You know, you might be seeing the Cole Kmet prospect that everybody thought he was, because people were excited about him coming in, and now he's a year 3, I believe, year 2 or year 3. I think it's year 3 for him. That's about the time when tight ends are going to do it, if they're going to do it.
You know who he's starting to remind me of? He's starting to remind me of Greg Olsen. He looks like him in the open field, and there's always like more space around him than there should be.
It seems like he's figuring out how to sit down between zones, which that's the most important skill for a tight end.
And turning that catch into yards. It's one thing to know the space, because like Jason Witten couldn't run, but he knew zones like nobody else.
Yep.
If he'd been able to run, for instance, like a Greg Olsen, then he would have had more yards than Tony Gonzalez. Like, it was just always open.
I mean, that is what makes Kelsey so good, right? I mean, he knows where to be. He's shifty after the catch. He's a big dude, physical guy.
And his top speed's there.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, that's why Travis Kelce's the best tight end in the league. You know what I mean? And, if you can figure out how to do it as a tight end, you can have a good career in the NFL. So
I think Cole Kmet's figuring that out.
Seems like it. It's good news for the Bears, because, you know, if they can ever figure out how to run a competent offense, they might have something.
No shit. So, even better news for Jacoby, because I feel like he actually does have a team in that 4 and 5 slot that's better than most. And if he can stop fucking up tight end calls with David Njoku, then I think Jacoby's going to get the playoff with Dave's team.
Yeah. Well, if you do the numbers, there's the 2 people at the top. There's 2 people right below him. Well, not right below him, but at 5 and 4, which is me and Strozzi. So it's 2 playoff spots out of 7 people that are 4 and 5.
It's gonna be me and Jacoby, but you know. Anyway, so the thing that we'd like to say though about Jacoby's team, Jacoby to me,
it's gonna be me and Jacoby.
Jacoby to me has probably even better than Mr. Wilson over there. I think Jacoby has the best trio of running backs right now. Swift, Kamara, and McCaffrey.
Yeah, I don't have a trio at all. I got a duo.
Yeah. Do you have the best duo though?
Yeah.
Do you think if you're only counting two, does Wilson overtake Jacoby?
I don't know.
No, I think I'd rather have McCaffrey and Kamara at this point.
God, Alvin Kamara is so underrated.
But I'm right behind him.
I give the edge to Jacoby even in that too, because you have two guys who are wildly involved in the pass game. You have an inept offense with the Jets who is hit or miss for Breece Hall. And then, you have Austin Eckler, who obviously is one of the best backs in the league too, but he's been banged up this year. And, he looks better. I mean, he looks healthier. Like, don't get me wrong, Austin Eckler's been looking good the last couple of weeks, but he doesn't seem like the exact same guy as he has been.
I don't know. I think Austin Eckler's best football is in the next 2 months. I think
so too. I think it's been a coordinator change is why it might look different. And then the injury on top of it. He's kind of banged up for a couple of weeks after returning. Not quite 100%. He looks back to full now though.
It's true. I watched all of that Jet game. I know that it was super one-sided, but it didn't look like any percentage of Austin Eckler anymore. It looked like 100% of Austin Eckler.
That might be fair.
And I think going into this part of the season, the last third and into the postseason run, I'd be really excited if I was Mr. Wilson about where Eckler looks, because I think he's gonna have possible RB1 status for the rest of the timeout.
Should we slide into the next matchup?
Yeah.
Unless you got another note on this one.
Well, I was gonna say
we can keep talking about my guys.
No, I had an opportunity. Yeah, we should go to yours next. We can slide on over that one. But we had an opportunity to trade Mr. Lamb for Eckler in Dynasty. We would have paired Eckler with CMC. That would have been fun. But we can't give up CeeDee Lamb in Dynasty for Eckler. It doesn't make sense. So
you're right. Because Eckler might only have one more year.
CeeDee Lamb is the number 3 wide receiver in Dynasty. We're not giving that up for us, Nick.
Yeah.
So
okay.
Anyway. But
good job, Trish. I appreciate you keeping Jacoby at 4 and 5 for me. That's very nice of you.
Yeah, let's talk about Jake's dud against the perennial unlucky man that is Todd finally putting together.
2 duds in a row. Mahomes and Kelsey won me the first week I had him on my team.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Been killing you.
They sucked for the last
Baker Mayfield outscored Patrick Mahomes this week.
Listen, worst trade of the year.
I picked up Baker Mayfield. I know I blasted this.
Mr. Wilson got blasted this trade.
I'm gonna say it again. I fucking picked up Cade Otton and fucking Baker Mayfield to play next week, and I'm sitting watching them combine for 40, going, "Fuck! I wish it was this week."
Yeah, I mean the funny part is that still wouldn't have won you the week, but you would have got a lot closer. Yeah, I mean,
it sucks. It's going to cost you next week when you lose to me, and then I lock up that bye.
Yeah, we'll talk about what I'm going to do to you this week here in a little bit.
Yeah, please God beat this guy. I'm a full-on Jake fan.
Because I don't put up less than 90, even when my team shits the bed, Cody.
Okay, put up 93. Go nuts.
You're going to put up 85.
Okay,
I'm going to put up.
I don't have Cooper Kupp, but you don't have Puka.
Yeah.
Sorry that I don't have the number 1 receiver on that team active next week.
Oh my God.
No, he's on my bench. You fucking loser.
Well, hey, we'll see what Tank Dell can do then. since I'll need a spot.
We need to look at that.
But back to this week. Todd's team doing Todd team things. Todd likes to put up 120 points.
Todd likes being 5.
He actually won this one.
Mm-hmm. You know who's coming on big for Todd? It looks like he's going to be a fixture probably the rest of the year is Mr. Taysom Hill.
Oh, not the rest of the year, because he'll just disappear for 3 weeks, like tomorrow, and you won't know it.
I don't know, man. He's been very
Michael
involved.
Thomas stays banged up because that was a big part of this game script.
Yeah, I think Taysom Hill is a crazy cool talent, and I would want to. It's fun to see a Taysom Hill game, but they come in bunches, and then they disappear for a half of a season.
This is why I disagree with you this year, because of the last 3 weeks. Seriously, listen up. The last 3 weeks, first week against Jacksonville, this was his kind of like getting involved game. 9 touches. The week after that, 10 touches. This last week, 15 touches. It's not like the days of old, he would get 5 touches and he'd break off a huge game, right? He's double-digit touches.
No, the days of old, every time that he gets fucking double-digit points, he gets the ball a ton. And yes, there are individual big plays, but no, he gets the ball a ton in those games. That's false what you're saying to me.
I don't know, man. He's been very involved. Okay, whatever.
Unbelievable.
Cody. He's been very involved.
But he had a good week this week, and Todd added him to the fucking team through waivers. Todd picked him up a week ago, and then dropped him the same day, and then picked him up again a week later, and then played him. And it fucking worked. I just had a gut feeling he was going to put up almost 20 points.
Yeah,
I remember Thomas was going to go out, but oh man.
I remember saying, you and I had a conversation before, like, oh, you're going to run into a Taysom Hill game? I said that phrase. And
what did I say to you?
I feel like he's going to.
Yeah.
Well, and then the other good news for Todd, too, is he's about to get Achane back, too. Achane's coming back. Not this. He's coming back after the bye. So next time the Dolphins play, Achane's going to be on the field.
I think Todd's one of those 2, 4, and 5 teams going to make the playoffs.
If they could figure out how to get Devontae Adams doing anything in Las Vegas, Todd's team would be real scary.
Almost don't even need to, though, because CeeDee Lamb is lighting the world on fire. Like you said, he's getting Achane back. He's got Jalen Hurts. Cleveland's defense, who he just got through the waiver wire magic, has been money. I was all excited about my defense and my kicker combining for 29, and then his combined for 32. So it just didn't matter.
No.
Browns are the defense 4 on the season, and they've been on, I think, at least 3 different teams this season.
Wild. To me, they're the second.
It's atrocious they keep getting. Well, if Baltimore didn't exist, I'd agree. But no, I think they're a firm third. They're so good, and they're so underrated.
The only reason I dropped Cleveland's defense is because I had Baltimore.
To me, they feel that I would rank them like this right now. I would go in fantasy: Dallas number 1, Cleveland 2, Baltimore 3, Philly probably 4, and then San Francisco 5 is what I would do with defense right now.
Mine looks about the same.
Yeah. So, but I mean, you got Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts been super consistent for the most part of this year. Quarterback 2 right now. You know, you can't do
all because of a tush push.
I mean, yeah, you say
do it better than anybody.
Consistent. He put up 13 points week 1 and hasn't really scored. Besides, like 0.1, he hasn't scored less than 20 all year since.
It's very consistent. Yeah, I mean, I don't know what else to say here. Really, Devonta Smith got in the end zone. That helped him. He's been kind of down in recent memory. You know, because AJ Brown's just been eating everything there is in Philly. Yeah. So
I'm excited to see on my side what Hopkins does with Will Levis moving forward, because he put up 33 last week. That's the game everybody saw, his 3 touchdowns. He marginally lower game this week at 8.5, but 11 targets.
Yeah, and that target thing that you see, that's what I'm excited about too.
Sticky. Will Levis likes throwing the ball. He's doing the smart thing as a young quarterback and giving it to the best wide receiver on your team. That's how you have staying power.
Hucking it down the field too.
He's got a freaking cannon. Got a cannon.
You know, I hate to say it, but like, dude, Will Levis looks like an NFL quarterback.
I know he does, right?
To say the same thing when Anthony Richardson started this year, my first thought, like, oh, he looks like an NFL quarterback. Like that throw, it's not taking an hour to get out, and it moves. And Will Levis looks like an NFL quarterback.
Yep.
You know, they handcuffed him a little bit on that drive before halftime. He was cooking when he was running the 2-minute drill, moving the ball down the field. And you know, they started calling some conservative plays in the red zone. I'm like, why are we not letting this man let it rip, dude?
Yep.
Took him from the 20 over
like, see what you got. Like, what do you have to lose in Tennessee this year? If you don't make the playoffs, do you think anyone's calling for Mike Vrabel's job? No.
That's not even 100% true. He would have had a touchdown. He would have had a touchdown on that drive if Tyjae Spears doesn't turn around and forget how to run and catch a ball over his shoulder.
Oh, that was tough. Yeah, like he had cement in his cleats.
Dude, I don't know what he was doing there. It was not a good play, but that would have been a touchdown for Levis. So the thing I would say about that game, though, for Hopkins is that line to me is a little bit misleading, because it felt like to me he was much more involved in that game. I mean, we said 11 targets, but it felt like to me watching that game that he should have had a lot more than 8.5 points because he was making plays. He just didn't get in the end zone, so didn't have anything really big. But anyhow, anything else to say about this one?
No, not really.
How excited do you think you're gonna make the playoffs?
Yeah, I do. But I'm a little down.
Patrick doesn't think so. Patrick said it's going to be him and Jacoby of that 4-5 group.
Homie, I'm 5-4.
So yeah, Jake's not 5-4. Come on, man. Yeah,
I can't read. You guys know that.
Out of here. Get out of here.
Can't do the numbers or the letters. What is this?
Can't read.
The 4 are you, Erica, Strozy, and Wilson.
The 2 Jakes and then the 2 at the top. And then there's 7
Who are those 2 at the top? I can't read.
Shush.
Well, I guess you just have to figure that out, bud.
Yeah.
And then the 4 and 5 teams are in no exact order. Patrick, Todd, Jacoby, Austin, Brant, and Luis.
Okay.
We know why we put me number 1. But anyway, let's keep
and
it
Alan,
and Alan. Yeah. To the next matchup, which includes
next matchup.
Nice.
That's crazy. So sorry, but last little footnote on that one. Trisha's the only team that's not going to make the playoffs. That's been ruled out, and then everybody else has a chance. 11 out of 12 people have a chance for the third of the season left.
The league is
not
much more
if we win out, we can make it in. I mean,
You're right.
Legitimate shot.
Mm-hmm.
Probably just gotta, if you go 500 the next 2 weeks, you probably got a decent shot. You know what I mean?
Especially if you're one of the teams that's in the top half of points 4 out of those 7.
Yeah.
If you're not, you probably got to win 3.
Well, but those point 4s aren't drastically different either. You know what I'm saying? In the 4 weeks that lead to it, that's good. There's a good chance that total points are gonna be a big fucking deal.
Yeah.
I mean, my team would have to score 50, and somebody else would have to score 120 even to just even it. So as long as my team doesn't shit the bed, I'm going to have that advantage.
That's just in 1 week, though. You average that over 4. They only got to beat you by about 15 weeks.
Yeah, man. Anyway, so I'm not going to put up 70. I haven't done that all year. Give me a break. Anyway, so if we're talking about Allen.
Offended by that.
Yeah, I haven't done that. My worst week was a 90, I think.
Yeah, you better hope other teams aren't getting 110 that week because that's exactly what that's. I'm
up by the closest one to me is 70 points behind, sir. Now, anyway. So yeah, that's my word for this podcast. Anyway, so let's talk about Luis and the freaking 40 burger from Mr. CJ Stroud. Cannot sing that man's praises enough. He looks so good, and he's been doing it for a minute now.
QB7 after that.
He's.
I love that we got a Will Levis CJ Stroud matchup in the league.
It's fun. It's fun. 2023, baby. Other good news for Luis. You got to quit playing 2 running backs on the same team. Stop it. Stop doing that to the people who are doing it. Don't do it. It doesn't work.
Yeah, but he's in that weird spot because he only started one of them last week, and he started the wrong one.
You got
to do it. Madison. You got to do it.
Alexander Madison is the guy in Minnesota now. He's your second running back.
Moving forward, sure, but that man put up 3.8 last week and 5.2 the week before. I can see why he was on the bench.
That's fair.
Because also he was going against Allen, who was just going to be trash. So if he was just looking for safe points, someone on that Colts running back squad is going to get in.
Allen admitted to the group that he's in his fields this week. Don't lay it on too thick.
Yeah, I'm just saying, if I'm Luis, I'm thinking, do I need dynamic points or do I need safety points? Well, I'm playing trash Allen, so I'm going to get those safety points and make sure that Zach Moss and Taylor are both on the field. I think it was a good head move by Luis. That's all I'm saying.
Allen's been having a bad run. He doesn't have his best running back playing this week. That hurts him. He gets an unbelievable week out of Rachaad White. If you can get anything out of Tony Pollard, which I hope to God I didn't make a boneheaded trade with that one. he maybe has a better week here, but Luis also getting the massive game out of Amari Cooper, getting a crazy touchdown catch there off the deflection, to benefit Luis there too. But even without that, still a big week with that 139 yards. Even if it was just that, it still would have been huge. Just a touchdown, put it over the top. But the other player who has been surprisingly consistent this year too has been Mike Evans. Him and Baker got a thing going on.
Is it surprising that Mike Evans is consistently good?
He's good no matter who he's with. It doesn't matter.
It does not matter. Mike Evans,
quarterback you want,
is good in the red zone. Go get him.
1,000 yards a year, sure as snow, as they say.
And that man fell all the way to the 6th round this year.
Yeah, that was we all fucked up there.
Yeah, well, I mean, we saw Baker Mayfield, man. We thought that offense was going to be nothing, and it actually has been pretty solid.
You guys remember when Baker Mayfield ruined Christian McCaffrey? Do you remember him taking the best person in all of fantasy football, and he made them non-existent by being their quarterback?
Remember when he got benched for Sam Darnold?
Oh, my God.
Remember when they traded away McCaffrey and then the running back put up 20 every week?
I remember.
His name was Donta Foreman, motherfuckers.
Oh, man.
Did that once or twice this year too.
Hey guys, remember when they traded Baker Mayfield to the Rams and he came in and won that game in OT? You guys remember that?
Yeah, remember?
Yeah, I remember.
That was fun.
You guys still thought Derek Carr was better.
I still think he is.
He is better.
But he's not. He is, but he's not, and that's the point. We gotta ran it in. We gotta bring it in. We gotta bring it in. Allen's garbage. Way to go, Luis.
We did. I think we pretty much covered Luis's, not so much Allen's.
Let's talk about Allen's. George Pickens, trash. Will Levis, trash. Tony Pollard, trash. But he moved him out so good.
He's shipping off his first-round running back and DK Metcalf. I don't understand.
Metcalf, trash.
I don't understand why he's shipping out Metcalf for the wide receiver. It's not even the number one on his team.
Yeah. Well, Nico Collins is best wide receiver.
Yeah, he is.
Being honest,
and it's not
Nico
close.
Collins is the number one in Houston. Tank Dell.
No, he's not.
Yes, he is. Nico Collins is the first read target on that team, and we all know it. Stop playing.
I mean, it just took Tank a few months to learn how the NFL works, and now we're here.
Sure.
Tank Dell, number one receiver in Houston.
Yeah,
number one passing offense in the league, Houston.
Is the Darren Waller trade the worst one of the season so far?
Absolutely is.
I mean, probably because he's gone now, and when he comes back, he's gonna have Danny DeVito's brother throwing him the ball.
It's his grandson. You treat him with some respect.
Hey, well, whatever.
He
plays like he's his brother because he looks like shit. Anyway,
what? He shipped out Chris Olave and Jake Fergalicious-Ferguson, who put up 20 this week too. For a tight end that's now on the injured reserve and a running back who's a backup on his own team.
I mean,
I'm not here to shit on Cowboys players, but Jake Ferguson has been waiver wire picked up 3 times in this league too, though. I mean, he was a part of a trade, but he would have been cut if he wasn't part of that trade.
Yeah. I mean, he's
I'm out.
Look good. Happy
My
to
internet's gone.
Oh, well, I'm still here. I can hear you.
I thought they were listening, respectively.
But no, we can hear you. Can you hear us?
Oh, really? Oh shit! Yeah. You guys froze on mine completely.
Yeah, you guys both froze on mine too. Interesting.
Yeah. I just thought
on mine.
You guys didn't even have fucked up faces. I just thought you were listening all respectively, and I'm like, oh, this is crazy. But I'm like, no, they're gone.
That would never happen. Well, guys, I mean, we kind of did it, yeah. Do we need to say anything else about this one? I think we kind of did it.
Honestly, this has been my best. Not my best. I just meant my favorite week in fantasy this year. This one hit all the goods.
In fantasy, sure, but there was a lot of great NFL matchups too. I mean,
you're right. It was a great week for football matchups, and then everything I could have wanted to have happened in fantasy did. So
yeah, awesome. Whatever. Hopefully next week you score 20 and everybody that you don't want to win.
Yeah, fuck Cody. Yeah,
that's right. Yeah, fuck him.
Yeah, that's a good time.
Anyway, let's keep moving. One thing that's exciting coming up here in a few weeks I like what the NFL's doing here with this Black Friday game. That's fun. Let's keep doing that. Playing a game on Black Friday. You guys see that? Again. Well, we lost Cody. Apparently, I don't know what's going on here.
Is Bucky.
Can you hear me?
Thanks, Zoom.
Can you hear me? I'm singing to the ether. Can you guys hear me? Did I lose both of you? I think we lost them, folks. All right, so if we're breaking down the matchups to come, clearly, folks, I'm going to win 4 in a row. I will be the points champion. We won't edit this part out. Look at these boys. They know I'm right. Look at them. Look at them here. Listen to me respectfully. Look at them. Intrigued from Mr. Wilson down below. We got Cody over here with a hopeful stare out in the future, thinking about how great my team could be. You know, let me just get on my soapbox here for a second and let everybody know the butt wrecking that I'm about to put on this team. And it's down to me. Bring in my close-up. We'll bring the guys back in a second, okay? Let me just give a warning, shall we say, a shot over the bow to the rest of the league because we're going to go 4-0. We're going to take that first-round bye. Cody's about to drop 4 in a row. You all know it's coming. That luck can't continue. Nobody, you guys know that. Like, let's be real, okay? So my team's running it out. We're taking the title and the jersey. And we'll see y'all next year. Better luck next time. Anyway, we got Mr. Wilson back in here. Cody doesn't know how to work Zoom, so we're going to have to send him an invite if I can figure out how to do that after just talking shit about him. There's that one right there. We click on this guy, and then we go over here, and there's a button there, and then there's Cody. All right, let's get him in here. You guys are going to have fun listening to that about a minute and a half spiel that I gave. That was fun.
About what?
Don't worry about it.
Awful internet in Wisconsin?
No, it's going to be awesome. You're going to listen to that. You guys are really going to enjoy that.
Hopefully it was about the bootleg internet you've been trying to run this podcast on.
What do you mean, Spectrum? That bootleg internet? Fucking garbage.
Yeah, the one that just dropped us? No.
Did I drop you or did you drop me? The world may never know.
You mean your profile set offline, not mine.
I was never offline, never stopped recording.
Boo, you're poor. Talking. Get real internet. We don't like poor people.
Let's move to some picks, huh?
Let's do it.
Wrap this up.
Yeah, let's do it quick.
Make sure you listen to that moment of the podcast, too. It was great. Anyway.
Probably not good, is it?
Oh, it's fantastic. It's fantastic. Anyway, let's start off with me since I'm the most important. I'm playing Luis. What do you got?
Oh, and we're not looking at matchups anymore. Is that what we're doing?
No,
we did it the 1 week. We didn't necessarily agree on that.
We were rushing it that week because we wanted to watch the game. That's why we did it. Remember?
Okay. I don't remember if I don't.
Well, probably because that edible's kicking in, huh?
Yeah.
But anyway.
I'm picking Luis. Fuck Patrick.
We knew that was coming.
Yeah, because who cares if I actually win this stupid competition we're doing? I'm picking Luis because fuck Patrick.
There's a steak dinner on the line, dude. Did you forget?
I eat steak whenever I want. I don't care.
There's this bougie piece of shit over here. Anyway. So anyway,
look, hold on. Let's actually look at it because the truth is CJ Stroud QB1 next week. So especially with Lamar Jackson going against Cleveland, you're fucked. I do. You're trash. It ain't gonna be Javonte Williams. So you're gonna have Tony Pollard against
the Giants. They like that.
Yeah, not good for you. Ramondre Stevens doesn't exist. Stephon Diggs probably just gonna take the week off since they're playing Denver. You know what I'm saying? Because they won't even need him then. T. Higgins actually is getting traded, so he won't be playing. And Mark Andrews has a broken foot. You're gonna lose.
Oh God, the wish casting.
You're gonna lose. So
anyhow.
Team Luis, I'm picking him. Let's go.
Hilarious.
Trash.
What do you got, Wilson?
I mean, Tyreek's on a bye, so it's a big deal. You got a better team than he does, but
you're gonna still find a way to lose because that's who you are.
But it's I think it's a coin flip, and the fact that it's a coin flip doesn't bode well for your team.
Mm-mm.
Not worried about Luis at all. We're going to be fine. No, let's keep it moving.
You don't worry about things at all, so that statement is moot.
It's a great life.
That could be true, but it doesn't make you reliable.
So you're picking yourself, Cody. Who you got? Actually,
yeah, Luis.
I'm definitely gonna get one over on you guys this one.
Yeah, Patrick's gonna lose. It's hilarious.
You can hope. Anyway, so Erica and Austin.
Who's Jake picking in that scenario?
I'm gonna. Man, I don't think Louis is gonna win, but I'm gonna pick him because fuck Patrick.
Yeah. Okay.
I want how he really feels. We all know how he really feels. That's all right. 2-1. Cody, you suck. Anyway, moving on. Erica and Austin. What do we got? Let's do an actual now that our emotions are involved.
I mean, speak for yourself. I'm an emotional person, okay? Fuck you.
Your emotions are always involved.
Yeah.
Tua's on a bye for one side, but then you got that just means the Mostert's out for the other. Chase is going against Houston. You got other noticeable matchups. Gus Edwards got to go against Cleveland. That alone is probably going to take me out of the Austin sweepstakes. I'm going to go Erica.
I think she can reliably put up 90 points easier than he can. And their ceilings are pretty much the same, so I got to pick Erica.
Two big problems for Erica. She doesn't have a running back, too. Jamar Chase is day-to-day with a back injury.
Ooh, I might change my vote because I'm looking at a team. Mostert on a bye. She's got Jacobs against the Jets and then Jaleel McLaughlin.
Ain't going to work.
I think you should consider, because she doesn't have an RB2, what Cleveland's going to do to Gus Edwards. They haven't let running backs do a fucking thing in Cleveland.
Nope. But you are playing Baltimore. Okay, so you got a great run defense, you got a great run offense. Who's going to win that matchup, you know? So
I'm picking as far as fantasy is concerned, the Cleveland defense.
Yeah, it's possible, but remember that, the Colts put 39 points on them, 37 points on them. So, I mean, you can score on them. They're not like impregnable, They're a great defense.
And Jacobs is going against the Jets, and then you got Calvin Ridley against the Niners. So,
not a lot of great matchups here all around. And I think, honestly, if anybody can cover Deontay Johnson, Jair Alexander might be that guy. So, we'll see.
I'm going to pick Austin because Erica does like to dip down and have those 35-point fucking lame-ass weeks. And Austin's almost pulled off 5 in a row. So I don't want the hot hand.
All right.
If he was a smart man, he would play Najee against Green Bay, too. That's what I would say. Anyway, the run defense sucks. Don't be fooled by what the Rams did.
Also, just remember that someone who's 4-5 gave you that advice.
Remember the man who gave you Jordan Addison and Gus Edwards, who have been carrying the team, gave you that advice.
Remember when he said play Najee.
2 fingers again.
Man,
smells like good advice to me. Anyway,
so you guys picking?
Again, someone who has a losing record said that sounds like good advice. Okay,
so who are you picking?
I'm going Austin.
Erica.
Also, I got some inner bitterness.
I'm picking winners
at this moment. So
picking winners. I'm picking winners.
Well, I mean,
picking winners.
Not historically, you're not. But
picking winners.
Who you got, Jake?
I already called out Austin.
He's Austin. He's got Austin. Cool. Yeah.
All right, suck you, Cody. 2-1 again. All right.
No, the last one wasn't.
No, 2-1
against you.
2-1 twice in a row.
God damn it.
Oh man, it's a good thing we marked this podcast not for kids, huh? Anyway,
do we go through that?
Oh, we do. You have to. You got to mark it whether it is or not. I always mark.
Didn't know that.
Yep. Well, if you would do any of the work for this podcast,
I do not, and we know it.
Anyway, it's all good. It's not that much work, folks. Let's not kid ourselves. Anyway, so
but it's still more than what Cody and I do.
It's true. It's very true. Let's do Brant versus Jacoby.
Jacoby. Jacoby's got a much better team.
Yeah, but he's got problems.
But DeAndre Swift's on bye. Oh, he's getting McCaffrey back though. Ooh.
McCaffrey against Jacksonville.
That's a 103. That might be a coin flip, too. I don't love either one of these.
Jacoby.
Yeah, I hear you.
I like Brent this week because Josh Allen's going to light Denver on fire. Bijan should actually do something against Arizona. Saquon is going to get a million touches. They're not going to mean a lot, but he's going to get points that way against Dallas. This is all they got. Chris Olave is against Minnesota, not a bad matchup. Jahan Dotson, not a great matchup against Seattle, but he could throw Drake London in there if he's healthy. Dalton Kincaid, I think, stays in because Denver sucks. And then
you want Fergie going against the Giants?
I don't think they're going to need him. They're not going to need anything. What did they need the first time when they were at full strength? They don't even have a quarterback this time. They're so fucked.
No, you're right.
Giants are in for a world of beating this week. But anyhow, I'm going to go Brent.
Oh, man, this is a tough one for me. I do like seeing 3 Bills players against Denver, but oh, man, I don't know. I think Jacoby. Brent hasn't shown that he can do it. They're both 4 and 5, so who really cares? But I think the loser of it is almost eliminated from the playoffs. Right?
Yeah.
Ooh. Hey, how many
Brent loses at least?
How many 4 and 5 matchups do we have this week?
Probably a lot, given the records in the league. Well, mine is
2 of them,
and this one.
Yep, 2 of them.
Yep.
All right, next matchup. Let's do what we got. Let's do the household matchup. We got Strozzi versus the King Taylor.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the other one. There's 2 this week.
It's true.
Got Trish and Todd too.
Oh yeah.
I always pick against Allen because it's annoying to have to look down through his whole fucking team and try to figure out.
It really is. I said not in person.
You know, I'll tell you, you can take that pick all the way to the house this week though, because Strozzi is going to beat the brakes off Allen.
Oh?
Allen's terrible.
Allen, I hope you win this week just to prove Cody wrong, but I'm picking against you, so sorry, bud.
Yeah, he traded away Pollard, traded away Metcalf, Will Levis.
He traded away his whole team.
The Bills the Bills are one of the worst run defenses in the league, guys. They are. They're not good against the run.
So I can't pick Allen. I can't. I'm not even picking against him because I think the other team is that much better.
I'm doing it for valid reasons to why we actually picked this fucking thing. Allen's gonna lose because Allen is falling off again for the 2nd year in a row.
He has bad matchups. He's got to run ETN out there against San Fran. You don't like that.
Boo.
Rashad White against Tennessee. You don't like that.
Boo.
He's got George Pickens against Green Bay, but it's Deontay Johnson's show right now. Nico Collins has got a so-so matchup, but the outside corners for the Bengals have played well this year.
Because they're good.
Well, and Tank Dell runs out of the slot, so it's probably Tank Dell week, unfortunately.
Yeah, it probably is, huh?
It probably is.
It probably is. That's a bummer.
Khalil Herbert, though, could save Allen's ass if he comes back and gets the lead dog roll back because Carolina is terrible against the run as well. So if that happens, you might see a Khalil Herbert week. So
right.
I am going to pick Jake, though, Mr. Strozzi.
Yeah, it's unanimous on that one.
Honestly, the thing that excites me so much is seeing how much Detroit versus LA is on Jake's roster, because I think that game is going to be a light him up game, and he's going to benefit from it all over the place.
It's going to be fun.
But
Monty, you got to remember, Monty's coming back. And if you've been listening to Dan Campbell, doesn't sound like he lost any of his role to Jahmyr Gibbs.
Oh, yeah. I think he's going to have a good game full of plenty, but Jahmyr Gibbs has shown some stuff, and we're going to see it.
He has. Yeah. Jahmyr Gibbs is going to be involved. After what he's done, you can't not be involved. And Jahmyr Gibbs is fun to watch, man.
He is
so shifty in the open field.
Strozzi by a million.
Yeah. Let's do the other household matchup because this one is also interesting. I think, honestly, because Jalen Hurts is out this week, and so is Devonta Smith, I might have to go Trish this week. I think she's got better matchups. I think Joe Burrow and Joe Mixon are going to do well.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, man.
I think
is she gonna eliminate Devontae Achane from the playoffs again?
Devon Achane, yeah, that's gonna be rough. But I do think she has better matchups because, again, I think you're going to see a game where Dallas just beats the brakes off the Giants, and the offensive players for the Cowboys don't really do much. I don't see how it's going to go that much different than it went earlier in the year because the Giants are worse and the Cowboys are better. So like, how's it going to go any better for them, dude?
That's such a phrase.
The Giants have gotten worse.
Giants are worse and the Cowboys are better, and it already wasn't close.
Exactly. And so I just don't think it's going to work out well. And they're playing in Dallas this time.
Oof.
So, it's not going to go well.
That smile on Jake's face. He's ready for that.
But CD might just light up. He might.
They might throw to him 10 times because they can and they want to show off. You don't know.
Todd's team's got a way higher ceiling than Trish's does.
CD better do it in the first half, or he's not going to do it though.
I think that's accurate.
Yeah. Devontae against Sauce. I don't think you like that. Sauce has been shutting down Irwin this year. He's having a great year. He's not getting a lot of turnovers, but they are not throwing the ball that man's way. So,
make your pick. I'm going Todd because Trish hasn't put up 100 points since week 3.
Going Trish.
I'm gonna go Todd because everything that Jake said about Trish's team, and I would love the justice of her knocking her man out of the playoffs. You know what I mean? Like I would love to see it. So if I'm wrong about my pick, I'm wrong. But I think Todd wins.
Maybe. We'll see.
I think Todd misses the playoffs for some unfortunate reason, but I think we're gonna make it a little bit closer. Like we're not gonna see Todd out of it today. We're gonna see him out of it the last
edge towards that cliff.
Yeah.
But at the hands of his wife, nonetheless.
Mm-hmm.
Just like mine did to me. Son of a bitch. Anyway, so it's not more brutal than to lose to your spouse by 0.12. There's not many of you that may ever feel how that felt. It fucking sucked. Especially after all the trash I talked all week. I mean, you never beat me. You're going to beat me. You're about to be 0-4 against me. And I was wrong.
That's
by
so
10
funny.
yards. 12 yards.
Patrick, you've never beaten me. Interesting that you bring that up.
You know what, guy? I'm just saving it up for the most important moment, right?
Never happens.
You know who's going to beat you this week? Me.
No,
I'm going to do it without Mahomes. I'm going to do it without Cup. And I'm going to do it without Kelsey.
You're going to fall victim to that same old bullshit.
I'm immune to your bullshit. Everybody else might fall for it. I am immune.
They all think that.
I spent 30 years building up
they all
resistance
think they're special.
Baker Mayfield.
Special. I think you're terrible.
Baker Mayfield is going to resurrect. Baker Mayfield is going to resurrect his national television ad campaign.
Kate Otten's getting 2 tutties.
That's what he's going to do.
2 weeks in a row.
All right, 2-1. Suck it, Cody. All right. Now, anyway. Anyhow, anything else, guys? Anything to say? Anything to do? I got some Madden work to put in over there. I'm going to get a franchise game done.
Nice.
Hopefully
mine's on a bye week, so I'm good to roll on to the next week anytime you guys want.
Hit the advanced thing on there anyway.
Yeah, we had a slight mishap in my game, so we'll have to rectify that. But
yeah.
Anyway, before we do that, let's say goodbye to kind folks and gentlemen and women, not just men, who listen to this podcast. We appreciate you. There's a lot of shenanigans that go on. Hope you enjoy them. Hope you have fun. We certainly do. That's week 9 in the books. On to week 10. On to Cincinnati, as Mr. Belichick says. And that's it, folks.
Got it.
We're out of here. So yeah. Jake, I don't know if you were. I think Jake's probably not in the know, but what happened?